Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. I am Nary Science.
You know the questions not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that.
With me as always is Stephanie Ulloa.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite. And he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy
Yes, I'm here.
is also here.
Missy is also here. Girl has no last name.
Not anymore. Am I right? Huh?
And special correspondent by Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no.
And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
That is it, ladies and gents. Welcome back. It's been a while. Since we've been gone. Welcome to the What's Up, Bro? Yeah, I know.
Bringing it back to like 2000.
Bringing it back to 2004, y'all, because this is what.
Thing.
What? That was the thing.
It was a thing that happened.
Welcome back to the What's Up Bro podcast. First one recorded in 2020. There's been a couple episodes already aired this year, but at the time of this recording, this would be the first time we record in 2020. It's been a few weeks since the legendary Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker has come out. Legendary meaning because it's going to gross $1 billion any minute now if it hasn't already. So I am.
It's also the end of a saga,
right? So also, I am Nary Science. With me, as usual, is Missy.
Hello.
And we got Vanessa.
Hi.
And today, special Wubro, we have David Ulloa.
Howdy.
So we wanted to talk about. We wanted to do a spoiler special and talk about Rise of the Skywalker.
Oh.
Rise what?
I don't know that I paid attention enough to.
Oh. Vanessa,
Goodbye, Vanessa.
Did you just realize that we were doing a Skywalker?
Yes, I thought we were just doing a regular Wubro.
Oh, well, there's 3 of us now, and this is awkward.
No, I like the movie.
Right. Well, we're gonna talk about it.
But
So,
yeah, I'm Venmoing her now.
for what?
None of your business.
Oh, well, silly me. I thought when you said you're gonna Venmo somebody money from my account, I thought I should know about it, but that's just cool. It's cool. So, Rise of the Skywalker came out a couple weeks ago now. It's been 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks at the time of this recording. And going round the horn, what are your guys' initial reaction of the movie after you saw it? Missy?
You know that gif of Andy Dwyer when he sprinkles the hearts up in the air and they fall down because he's so happy?
No.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
No,
you don't know what I'm
when
talking
they're
about?
going camping.
This one.
The team is going camping. No, not that.
No, that's the table when he finds out somebody's pregnant.
Oh, then I have no idea which gift you're talking about.
The whole Parks and Recs team goes camping, and then Andy's trying to find April, and he gets lost. And
So how I felt about the movie was that I really, really liked it a lot. And I felt very satisfied with the ending. I just sent you the gift, so you know what I'm talking about. And I liked it a lot.
All right.
Did you bring enough to share with the class? Because if not, I don't think that you should be, chewing your gum, so to speak.
All right. So you liked it a lot. Dave, initial reaction?
I loved it. And I saw it twice, and I loved it maybe even more the second time.
Wow.
Oh.
High praise.
All right. So, Vanessa?
Can you send me that? I really liked it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed myself, and that's really all I ask for from these movies is that they entertain me, and I was very entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Yes, I was.
Thank you for asking.
Very much.
She just said it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very much.
That makes sense. I myself loved it. But I'm really, I think, the wrong person to ask because I seem to love all the new Star Wars movies. I have not seen Solo yet.
I don't see why you wouldn't like it, to be honest.
I look, if I'm being completely 100% honest, I've seen like 40 minutes of that movie and there was just like a lot of explosions and I was just like, oh, okay. But I wasn't watching it in the right environment. It was like a lot of stuff going around me, and I was just not really paying attention. 100%.
I can't watch a movie like that for the first time, no matter what the movie is.
I'm being summoned by
Children's. Yeah, no, I agree. So, and then, in all fairness, I watched Rogue One 4 times in theaters and tried to like it, and I just didn't. And then, for my own personal reasons, nothing against the movie, and then I rewatched it yet again, maybe a month and a half ago, and I really love that movie now. Like, I had to get myself out of they don't have Jedis in this movie. And then, again, which is my own thing. It had nothing to do with the movie itself. It had to do with my expectation or wanting of the movie.
You know, for longtime Star Wars fans, I think that's been something that we got over a while ago, because a lot of the books and comic books and video games don't follow Jedi. I mean, a lot of them do. Most of them do. But there's almost as many that don't.
Yeah, see, the reason I don't know that is because you said books. So
but you know comic books, and you certainly know video games.
Right.
So one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars outside of the movies is the Shadows of the Empire video game.
I never played that.
And that video game follows a smuggler from Corellia, just like Han Solo.
I'm playing now the last Jedi, whatever the newest game
Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, and it is phenomenal.
I need to play it.
It is, and it's such a large, you won't have time.
No,
it's
I know
such a large game. It's absurd, but I'm playing it now and I love it. But that's really the second Star Wars video game that I've ever played. The first one being Phantom Menace.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you didn't play Force Unleashed?
No,
man, Force Unleashed was great.
Yeah. So, with that said, just to come back to long way to say I like everything new of the Star Wars universe. I have a harder time getting into the older movies. By older, I mean Episode 1 and 2 specifically.
I couldn't get through them. I tried to do what I did with the Marvel movies before Infinity War, and watch all of them.
Right.
And I could not make it past Phantom Menace, right? The first one.
First one is Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I couldn't make it past, and then I felt like if I skipped it and I went straight to Solo, then Rogue One, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would be cheating, and I don't want to be a cheater. So
I legitimately, I got through Phantom Menace, but it was part 2 is Clone Wars,
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. I'm sorry,
Clone Wars is the TV show.
You're right. Attack of the Clones, and Attack of the Clones was so bad that I watched 4, 5, 6 first, then Rogue One. I don't know why I went backwards, and then I went Episode 1, then Episode 2, and Episode 2 was so bad that I stopped watching. It stopped me. I started this trek probably 4 months before the movie came out. Like, I had plenty of time, and part 2 was so bad that I was like, I don't want to continue this. Like, I just stopped, and then that's it. That was where I got. And then I went back right before, like the week before. I saw Rise of Skywalker a week late because I was on a cruise ship, and I saw episodes 7 and 8. And that I loved.
So you skipped 3.
Yeah,
I love 3.
Part 2 got me so mixed up that
listen, I get it. Hayden Christensen sucks. He's awful, and the scenes between him and Natalie Portman.
I hope he dies, and I hope he burns in hell.
That's
but
not excessive at all.
Well, that's also a line from A Time to Kill by Samuel Jackson.
I know.
To me, Episode 3 makes up for the missteps of 1 and 2.
Acting,
Here's what I like about the original trilogy, not the original, the prequel trilogy, that I feel that I feel the sequel trilogy doesn't have is it's got a consistent tone, and it's got a story that it tells from start to finish, where I feel like some of that is lost in the sequel trilogy, although generally I like the sequel trilogy.
I gotta be honest with you, I loved everything about the sequel trilogy. I know I'm in the minority in that one, apparently. At least we're Star Wars fans. But, I mean, I've been a diehard Star Wars fan for like 16 weeks. So I know. I became a Star Wars fan, as the listeners knows. For the listeners that don't know, I never understood the hoopla over it. I was just like, yeah, it's kind of, what's the word I used? Overrated. And I was like, I don't get the hoopla. They're all right. I just don't see the hoopla. I don't get the fandom over it until Force Awakens came out. And right before Force Awakens came out, I introduced Vanessa, my wife, to all the other movies at that time. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I see it. Like, I was like, this is cool. And then the more I started watching it, the more I got into it. But I'm never gonna be that guy that reads the books, and I'm not gonna be that guy.
See, that was me. And
your story checks out.
Through a lot of my childhood, I read those books and the comics, and
So I have a question about that, because I am strictly.
But the books don't even make any difference now. They don't matter.
But
They don't.
but okay. But here's my question,
Dave was
because
really upset.
I am.
I watched all of them for the first time before Episode 7 came out. So I'm super late to the Star Wars thing. But I love them, and I would consider myself a fan, even though I'm like a late fan. But I don't understand. I get the timeline as far as like the movies and the prequels and the shows and everything. Where the fuck do the books land?
So
Was it like they were books and then they turned them into movies like Lord of the Rings, or was backwards?
No, the movies always came first, and then the movies informed the books. So the books took place in times that either the movies did not explore, like in between those films.
So in between like 4 and 5. Or
so
whatever.
like I mentioned Shadows of the Empire, right? Shadows of the Empire starts.
When did you mention Shadows of the Empire?
The video game.
Oh, right. Okay.
The book Shadows of the Empire starts with Empire Strikes Back at the Battle of Hoth, and it ends just before the end of Return of the Jedi. So it kind of explores that whole time and the year in between Empire and Return, but it's showing you a different side of it than what you saw on screen. And then likewise, it also explores periods. Other books explore periods either immediately preceding or immediately following the movies.
Got it.
Or in between the 3 years between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, things like that.
They don't matter anymore because the Supreme Leader, Kathleen Kennedy, has said those are not.
Who's Kathleen Kennedy?
Is it Kathleen? Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy.
She's the president of Lucasfilm. She has been with Lucasfilm.
Does she have
for
good security
a long,
detail?
long time.
Does she have good security detail? Because I feel
so.
like she might not.
Madam, she walks around with 4 Jedi walking around her at all times.
See,
she's in the Jedi Council,
but not a master.
No,
And not Asian.
This is outrageous. How can you put me on the council and not make me a master?
Yeah, that was weird though.
Yeah.
Because everybody else on the council was a master.
Yeah. But it was also unheard of to have the chancellor appoint someone to be on the council.
Right. Also, it was unheard of for somebody to be such a bad actor on the console.
Right.
Because everybody else on the console could fucking act.
Yeah, including the puppet.
Yeah. The puppet was a better actor than fucking everybody but Sam Jackson. Like Sam Jackson's the best actor there, and then after that goes the puppet, and then it goes like spacebar, Ewan McGregor, and then like whoever the big squid guy looking guy is. Yeah, that's fine. What's his name?
The big squid guy.
Yeah, it's like a guy with a long head in the console.
With the long head and the goatee?
Yeah.
I think that's...
He doesn't resemble a squid to you. You just described the squid right there. He doesn't...
Now that you mention it, yes. Yeah. That is... I think his name is Ked Adimundi?
His character's name?
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know. You should know.
Yeah. Let me look that up. Now I'm curious.
So are we going to do spoilers from the beginning of the movie, or just...
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a...
Happy birthday, BFF.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we're recording.
Sure, yeah.
On my wife's birthday.
I was right. Ki Mundi. This guy, right?
Yeah, the squid guy. Yeah, I don't understand why he's not...
Because there is another guy who's got like tentacles.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about him.
I guess that could be the...
I think his name is Kit Fisto.
Oh, that sounds like a porn star name.
Yes, Kit Fisto. Oh my God, I'm pulling all this shit out of my ass.
That's
technically, I mean, that's Google, but yeah.
It came out of my brain hole, okay?
Which is
Not
in
the-
his ass.
I was gonna say, you have some explaining to do.
Which is in his ass.
So, so we're not going in order of the movie. I can just jump in with whatever pops into my head.
Sure, because we're not gonna give a plot review. We're not gonna.
Right.
We're just reviewing the movie. We're not giving.
So here's my question, and don't shoot me. Let me have some wine before I say it. Why do people hate the kiss?
I love the kiss.
I don't like Kylo Ren.
You don't like Adam Driver.
No, that's fact. That is absolute. No. Let me rephrase. I hate Kylo Ren. No rhyme or reason. What's that word you use all the time?
Irrational.
Irrationally. I hate Kylo Ren irrationally. Not Kylo Ren, I'm sorry. Adam Driver irrationally. My irrational rationale is that it's because I find him completely ugly in the face.
You know, I learned recently that he's like super traumatized about his looks. Like he won't watch.
He doesn't watch himself.
He's gotten so much negative feedback.
But it's not just his. Sorry.
No, well, this is. I mean, I read this like in passing in a Disney group, so really, I don't know.
Well, no, he stormed out of an interview recently
like
because
he won't sit through an interview where
been-
they ask him to watch his scenes.
Yeah, he doesn't like watching
in
himself.
in the interview where they told him that they were going to play a scene and
He walked
Of him
out.
singing. It was of him singing.
he wasn't going to have to see himself at all.
Well,
doesn't
he
like
doesn't
hearing
like
himself
hearing or
either.
seeing himself.
He has,
People
like-
have that kind of.
Yeah, sorry, that's a dick move.
Johnny Depp does the same thing.
No, he doesn't storm out.
Johnny Depp doesn't like watching himself, so people don't make him watch him.
One thing is not liking watching yourself.
All right, so
Well, you know, I used to not like the way I didn't like listening to myself.
Me either.
But then I started podcasting, and I was like, that's just how I sound.
That's
Me
it.
either.
That's the-
Yeah.
I
over it.
legitimately hated the way I sound. Then I started doing comedy, and when you do comedy, you record your sets, and I hated. It was like listening to nails on a chalkboard, listening to re-listening to my sets,
Yeah.
but I had to do it, and I got to the point I did it so much that I was like, no, that's it.
Yeah.
That's my stupid voice. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know.
I felt the same way when I first started podcasting,
It's
but
the default. What is it? The default setting?
Yeah, it's my default setting. It's stupid. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
You can't download any other voices
I
for
don't-
your Siri.
I don't hold it against him for him not wanting to
He's an actor, though.
watch himself or hear himself. I don't hold it against him. It's not. I think it just depends, but that's a conversation for a different day. But so you don't like Adam Driver? You hate him, his face,
Irrationally.
right? There's no rhyme or reason, but you hate him. But
Oh no, there's a reason.
how I
It's not a
feel.
good reason, but there's definitely a
okay.
reason.
So there's a reason you hate his face.
Yes.
Now
That's how I feel about Dirk Nowitzki. He has a stupid face.
There you go. She's
I
been
agree.
calling Dirk Nowitzki's stupid face since 2001.
Jeff hates.
I'm not even
Jeff,
lying.
Jeff
Well,
hates
not-
Brie.
Well,
Yes,
we've been
well-
together for 57 years, so 2001 sounds.
Jeff 25
56.
times 3 is 75. Yeah. But
2010. That's when they in the playoffs. Go ahead.
so you hate his stupid face.
You said Jeff, and then you just stopped.
Yes, because I forgot. Jeff
She started to do
hates. Yeah.
She got confused.
My
Brie
brain-
Larson. Brie Larson.
He
Let's get
hates
it
her.
out.
Yeah. Brie
Well,
Larson.
you can jump in. It's cool.
Today, Junior. Yeah, Brie Larson. No, it's a Billy Madison reference. I wish I had that button. So he hates Brie Larson. Yeah, I don't know why he hates Brie Larson. She's really pretty.
Yeah,
She has
I think so.
stupid face.
I don't know why you hate Adam Driver.
He's
He's
ugly.
a handsome dude.
Can we name
Okay.
this episode "Stupid Face"?
I got to be honest with you, and I'm not proud of this, but the fact that Vanessa just told a story that he's traumatized because he's gotten so much shit over his looks goes to show you that I'm not alone in thinking that he's ugly. Again, I'm not proud of this. I'm not like, I'm
So I
joining the
don't
people who are
care.
bullying this guy. I'm not proud of that, but that's my opinion. I think I
Well,
don't
you're
think
not
it's
bullying him. You're just stating an
You're
opinion.
giving your opinion.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I mean, it stinks that someone thinks that they're ugly. You should be happy with the way that you look, but
All right, just
But not everybody can have Vanessa's confidence.
but yeah.
But getting to my point
Okay.
from 57 hours ago, what did you think of the kiss?
I don't like the kiss because I don't like him, the character, Kylo, or Ben, however you want to slice it, however you want to slice the lightsaber. I don't like him for Rey. I don't think either one of those characters is good enough for Rey. Maybe because since I was introduced to Rey, I wanted Rey and Finn to get together. So maybe that's my prejudgment, my prejudice for that. And I just don't like I don't think Kylo's. You know what I mean? When you remember, you ever see like your friend who's a great person and they start dating somebody who you don't fucking like, and you go, this is not gonna
know what you are talking
this is not
about.
gonna end well. Like, that's how I feel watching that kiss. And it was only that kiss because before that I didn't get any sexual tension between
Oh, are you
them.
kidding?
No,
See,
I got
that's-
I don't get that. I don't get how
I
people
agree
didn't
with
see
you.
it coming.
I
There
don't-
was
wait,
sexual
wait.
tension
Sexual
from that
tension.
first scene where, like, in the movie before this, I don't know the titles. When they like
Last Jedi.
when their brains connect,
Yeah.
and then he's like shirtless. Like,
I love how you
that's
pointed at your brain, like
Yeah, connecting.
your brain.
it's not that I didn't see it coming. Is that I don't see, like, I saw them linked, but to me, I thought their
linked by their private.
their frustration, I guess if you want to call it, because I know people are like, oh, they had sexual frustration. To me, their frustration, if you want to call it that, was based more upon power. Like, he knew that she was something powerful, and he wanted that power because he was jealous because he wanted to be the next Darth Vader, and she was jealous because she's not jealous, but she was like
The struggle.
of like, you know what I'm going through with this whole Force thing, and you're the only one that can help me out, and you're fucking a dick. And that's what I felt was the frustration, the chemistry, or whatever you want to call it, that they were being pulled to each other. And first of all, they were being pulled by Supreme Leader Snoke. He's the one that connected them.
Snoke.
He's not a
Snoke.
fish.
Well, he's dead now, so he's sleeping with the fishes, if you get what I'm saying.
I'm 100% with you on this. To me, that tension that's there, I do think that there's a seduction that's happening, but I think it's
Shirtless Adam.
I think it's Kylo Ren seducing her to
The dark side.
The dark side.
Right.
It's not a sexual seduction, though there may be a sexual attraction there for him.
Right.
She doesn't see him that way.
But okay.
Yeah, but
That's not how- yeah, that's
it's
the way I
very
saw it.
easy to go from like, I'm trying to seduce you to come to the dark side, to I'm trying to.
It's a
seduce you,
blurred-
period.
yeah.
It's like, it's a very thin line, I feel like, and
But it's a line that to me was not explored.
So I would say
I
this.
disagree. I think it was great. how
Yeah,
they did
I
it.
think that the tension between them is the primary reason why I was so vested in these movies, these last three movies to begin with. I think, in my personal opinion, I think that
Sorry.
people are putting too much, like, they kissed, they didn't get married and then have kids
Right, like,
and then
they're not
die, like
a
the
re-
Notebook.
they're not
It's
a
like
I
a kiss
agree.
is just a kiss sometimes, and
I didn't start the petition. It's not like I was like, I'll get the kiss you erased from memory. Like, I was just like, oh, I don't like that.
Listen, to me, it was one mark on an otherwise really great
But I don't
movie,
think
but for me personally,
yeah.
You're wrong.
and right, it's an issue I have with it, not an issue that I guess the movie has, because if so many people say, oh well, there was sexual tension there, then maybe there is some implied tension there that I didn't infer. But so it's definitely a problem I have, but. Even so, I don't think it's enough to ruin the movie for me, or even detract from the movie.
Yeah.
It's just one thing I don't like about.
I
the
know
movie.
that-
Now, there's a bigger issue if it turns out to be true, which is that kiss was kind of mandated by Disney,
The studio.
right? Along with other issues that I guess people have had with the movie, which I don't have with the movie, but that Disney kind of got involved and pushed Abrams in that direction.
I don't know. I don't have a
I
problem
don't.
with.
If that happened, I don't see a problem.
I said this. I think we talked about it about a week ago. Like, I feel that people having such an outrage about the way that this movie ended and going
There's
so
outrage on
far.
the way this movie ended.
No, I'm sorry. How the movie in general. That they didn't like. Didn't somebody start a petition or some shit to
release
the
the
director's
JJ cut?
cut
Right.
or whatever?
The JJ cut.
That felt to me
They do that anyway.
individually.
With-
I
when
felt
the
like
movies
a
are
lot
released?
like the
Probably
Game
not
of.
this one.
I think the general consensus is that
I was trying to finish the sentence because I don't think I got it out. That it felt a lot to me like the Game of Thrones thing where people were pissed about the last season and then they started a
I
petition.
completely disagree with that.
I
Here's
disagree as well.
because the Game of Thrones petition was, and which I'm not in favor of at all, was saying we don't like the end product, so start all over. do it again to my liking. What they released a JJ cut is saying is, we don't like that you took it out of the director's hands. We don't like that you took it out of the artist's hands. Let the artist show us what he wanted to show us. They're not saying, oh, I don't like the final product, give us something else. They're saying, well, if the final product wasn't what the artist wanted to release, then let's see what the artist wanted to release. And I think that is okay. I'm okay with that. As an artist myself, if I'm working a corporate gig, right, I know, which is basically my entire career, because as far as nobody has ever censored me on cruise ships, or any comedy club has ever censored me. One did, not a cruise ship. It was a college. Anyways, but as long as one person, if they're censoring, if nobody's ever censored me, but I know that at any point in time they can say, we don't like this joke, don't do it again, and I have to make a decision to continue to do it their way or my way, but it can't be both at that point. And if that's the case, and I choose to go, okay, you're corporate, I'm gonna get paid, so I'm just gonna do the joke the way you want me to do it. If somebody else goes online and goes, oh, I want to hear the Neri version of that joke, I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, here. That's great, that's fine. I don't see that as rewriting material. That's you just, I don't think anything was wrong. I don't think Disney was wrong in doing what they did, to be honest with you, because
especially after the backlash that The Last Jedi got, even though it made like bank.
Yeah, it's huge. It was financially successful and even critically successful.
Right.
It's just the users, the fans, it was very divisive. Even in our group, it's very divisive.
Right.
Jeff hates it. I love it. Dave is somewhere in the middle.
No, I'm pretty close to it. I hate it.
You hate it? Oh.
It's my least favorite.
Well, that's not what you're saying. Oh. Least favorite and hating are two very different things.
Okay, after my last binge, right before this, I would say that I no longer hate it, but I do find it to be totally unnecessary. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Oh, yeah. I'm the exact opposite. I've literally seen it 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Well, you ranked all 10, and number 10 is
being the lowest.
Yeah,
it's The Last Jedi.
And
that's crazy to me, because again, everybody's list is their own list.
But I just think that
have you seen episode 1?
To put that below 1, 2, and 3, to put that like as a rock bottom over 1, 2, and 3.
Not only is 3 better, 3 I'm almost certain I have above Return of the Jedi. Like I love 3.
I like 3. I don't hate it. I feel like, again, I'm all over but going back to what I'm saying is, I don't think anybody's wrong in this situation. Disney was not wrong in saying, we want you to do it this way. It's their property. They could fucking do that. That's their thing. That's what people don't seem to understand. When people are getting mad at Disney for like intervening, they're like, no, this is their property. They have the fucking right to say, I want you to do it this way. Marvel just fired the director of the next...
Or he quit.
Or whatever. Okay.
Same.
He got quitted. It's the same. It's the fucking same.
Potato.
He quit the director for the next...
Doctor Strange
film, quit over creative differences, because he, just like Edgar, whatever his name was,
Edgar Wright,
he's like, we're not gonna give up. This is the way we want you to fucking make this movie. And Edgar Wright and this guy were like, and I don't do that.
Scott Derrickson has only been working on this since, I have to imagine, since whenever the first one came out, because he was working on the first one. Edgar Wright was working on Ant-Man for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, well, that's it.
So I don't think Disney's wrong in ordering whatever they wanted. I also, it does take, when you read those tweets, when you read those stories that supposedly came from a knowledgeable source, it does, as a fan, you do read those and go, it kind of shows you how the sausage is made, and you're like, oh man, this is very corporate. It made something that should be artful, like filmmaking should be very artful, should be coming from the soul, and it made it very like formulaic. And they were like, oh, do this because people are going to want this. Don't do that because people are not going to want that.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's the thing. But I'm okay with the releasing the JJ cut. Keep the cut that you have now. I
like the cut that they have.
I love the cut that they have now. It's my favorite one of all that I've ranked. literally, it's my number one. I mean, it's 1A, 1B with The Last Jedi, but it's right there. It's fucking...
One of the things that to me I loved so much about this movie is even more than The Force Awakens, which, even though I really like The Force Awakens, I would probably even say I love The Force Awakens. That said, it's pretty much just A New Hope with new characters.
Yes,
right?
And better effects.
And better effects. Even saying that, I feel like the feel of Star Wars is not captured as well as it was in The Rise of Skywalker. To me, that felt the most like a Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of the only thing that I would say is, and I know it had numerous, but like I really wanted a really epic lightsaber battle in Rise of Skywalker, and I don't think I got an epic one. I got a bunch of good ones. I don't think there's one that stands out to me like this was epic.
Rey and Kylo Ren on the Death Star was not epic enough for you?
No. The epic moment came when Leia, and it had nothing to do with the fight with the lightsaber. The epic moment in
I don't disagree.
Yeah, that wasn't a lightsaber.
I like how they handled Leia's passing.
Oh, it was so good.
That was amazing.
It was so good.
That was a mess.
I was really impressed with how much footage they because that wasn't with that. Did they? Paul
I was
Walker's
really
brother
surprised.
Did they Paul Walker that shit?
Yeah, they had Betty Lord step in.
No, but that's for the training sequence. That's when she was.
young Leia.
That was for young Leia when she was training to be a Jedi. But did they do any?
All of that was from The Force Awakens. All of it. But if you'll notice, they just took her and superimposed her into like the backdrop of whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of like,
But
like
it is actually her though.
Medium
It's not like
shots.
an actress.
It is her.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an actress.
They
that
crafted
has,
a whole story around an actress who died 2 years before. That's incredible. Man.
That's. I thought it was.
I don't
handled-
think she's dead.
I.
Spit my wine out.
Sorry.
That was gross.
Yeah, that's gross, honey.
She made me laugh.
I am very impressed. I was like waiting to see like are they gonna kill her off? Are they gonna? And they did ultimately, but that's the only
The way they did it was
It's
fantastic.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. Like it was just. I thought that was fantastic.
You know
And I'm
what?
not one of these saps that cries that just like sing the fucking Carrie Fisher's name on screen.
I am.
I know. There's plenty of them in the group. But I'm not that guy. I don't
I
like.
didn't think I would be, but then the first time I watched, I don't know, the movie after she died, the last one she did,
The Last
and
Jedi.
then they like when they showed her, and I was like, oh, like I got
yeah.
emotional, but I don't know that
I didn't get emotional at all about her, but I do appreciate her and appreciate her work, and especially her work in Star Wars and Family Guy. And
Yeah, I was gonna say like her comedic work is out of hand.
her comedic timing was outstanding.
In Blues Brothers, she has the best role in the movie.
I've seen her-
It's not
Do you know-
it's not often that she's on screen, but when she is, oh my god, she's like
Do you know my first like hashtag my Carrie Fisher, like the first time I ever was like, who's that? She's in When Harry Met Sally. I know that it's not one of her,
Yeah,
but
was
she
great.
plays an amazing best friend of the lead, and I didn't know obviously
was Princess Leia.
That was Princess Leia until I was like 32. But yeah, like she had an amazing career.
I love her. I just don't get emotional over seeing her name or her. Like, I don't get emotional over text. I really don't. Like, there's over a font. That's how I call it.
I see her face and I start welling up, which is why to me it was really surprising that the moment of her passing didn't affect me so much as when Chewbacca receives the news that she's died and he falls to his knees
That
and
was
starts
so
crying.
brutal.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh,
to me
I thought
that
you heard
was
that he got double parked and he got a ticket. No, I got a ticket.
Who hurt you?
I love the fact that that joke went down the fucking middle of the room. Dave is laughing, cackling. I'm getting side eye from Missy, and my wife, who is smiling, verbally said, "You're the worst." Like it literally got all three possible fucking reactions that a joke can get. I just love that. All right, go ahead. So yeah, but yeah, that was a great scene.
yeah,
That was a
to
terrible-
me that was
JJ making up for him fucking up in The Force Awakens. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
in the
100%.
To the listener, The Force Awakens.
That is the biggest issue I have with that movie.
And that is his. And
Wait,
he's
what's
admitted.
the issue?
So The Force Awakens, when they land after Han died, right? After Han was killed, murked. They land and Leia walks past Chewbacca.
You see Chewbacca like on the side of the frame.
He's clearly in the
walking
in the scene.
away.
He's walking. He's walking past, like they're crossing each other, they're passing paths, and Leia does not look or glance at Chewbacca and goes straight to Rey to console Rey because she saw Ben kill Han.
Kylo. He was Kylo though.
Whatever. At this point, this is like
I think it makes a difference.
I don't think it does. I think he was Ben there too, to be honest with you, because he literally said the same thing. I have a decision. I know what I got to do.
I think he may have been Ben, struggling with whether he was Ben or Kylo at the beginning, but he was Kylo when he activated the lightsaber.
Okay.
That's when he became.
Listen, counselor. No matter what you're saying, he's going to jail, bro. I don't give a fuck who pulled the trigger.
That wasn't me. That was Patricia.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, that's it. So, but that. So anyway, so the beef was like Chewie's been with both these people, Leia and Han, for so long that if Leia was going to console somebody, she wasn't going to console Rey, who she just met. She should have consoled Chewie first, or not had Chewie in that scene so she could go to Rey, whatever. That was pointed out on the interwebs after Force Awakens came up, and JJ flat out said, "You're right. I'm sorry.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake. I didn't even think about it." And he made up for that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we gonna fuck up this Wookiee today, son. Like I fucked up in the Force Awakens, but we gonna get this shit.
Knees.
Yeah, I want you on your knees, bitch. Like I want everybody to know that it affects you, motherfucker. Like, yeah. But I loved it. I mean, I thought, from honest mistakes by a director in one movie, it could be made. Something can be made better.
Oh yeah.
Because who knows? I'm sure we wouldn't have gotten that dramatic, down to his knees moment that we got in Rise of Skywalker that we ended up getting, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So power to him.
But again, in this binge that I did before watching Rise of Skywalker, it was painful to watch The Force Awakens and see Chewie walk right by her on the side of the screen. I'm like,
man, me and you we watched movies completely different, because I rewatched our Force Awakens recently as well, and when Chewie passes by, I literally said, "Oh, bye, Chewie. Oh, you don't care? Okay, cool." I added dialogue to Carrie Fisher, like, "Oh, you don't care? Okay, fuck it, you don't care." Like
I watch movies with the Sideshow Bob sound all the time.
That's also Fraser Crane.
Yeah, there you go.
It's also Fraser Crane. But yeah, man. Anyways, so that's what I was missing, the lightsaber, an epic lightsaber match. I thought, I was a little disappointed. I got to be honest with you, that I don't understand, and I know you could change colors of a lightsaber. I get it. But in the training montage, so Luke's Force Ghost, or Ghost Force, whatever, shows Rey, hey, look here, here's Leia's lightsaber that she used in training, right? We get the flashback to the training. In the training, one of those motherfuckers, and I don't remember who, whether it was Luke or Leia, was using a green lightsaber.
Luke.
Right. So why are both lightsabers blue now?
Because Luke's lightsaber is the green one that he made after he lost his one in Empire Strikes Back. That's the one that he had through Return of the Jedi.
So why doesn't he have it now?
We don't know where that lightsaber is.
But that's what I'm saying. In Force Awakens, we go, that's Luke's.
Yeah,
what's her name?
That's the Luke lightsaber that he lost when his hand was cut off.
What?
Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so this is one of the plot holes that is never resolved.
Okay.
When Han says, "How did you get that?" He knows that that's the one from Cloud City, the hand chopped off.
Right.
I am your father, all that stuff.
Right.
So she says that's a story for another day. She never says how she got her hands on that lightsaber.
Oh, no, we're going to find out today, bitch. You're going to tell me today.
Well, Family Guy told us.
That one.
Remember Luke?
How to remember it.
Luke falls, right? And then he goes, "Hey, anybody seen a hand?" And then there's the guy with the hand in his crotch in his pants, and it's all tight. You see the outline of a head. He goes, nope. So somehow someone found that lightsaber. But that's not the lightsaber that Luke uses on Jabba's barge.
Right.
That's not the lightsaber he uses to fight Vader.
Why not use the green one in whatchamacallit?
In The Last Jedi?
And no, why not use the green lightsaber in the new trilogy?
Because Luke never actually fights anyone.
But if the intention, the whole story plot of Force Awakens is Luke has retired and he has completely cut himself off from the Force because he believes that Jedi is a narcissistic thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that we're getting from Force Awakens,
right?
Wouldn't it stand to reason that wherever his lightsaber is would be the one that Rey finds? I mean, I don't understand why change it.
But she doesn't find that one.
That's what I'm saying. But why not? They could have just made it that it's that one, and nobody would have given a fuck. And it wouldn't have been a plot hole.
Here's the reason.
How did it get there?
Here's the reason why. I can almost guarantee you this is conjecture at this point. All right, because there was no unified vision on this trilogy. Kathleen Kennedy just kind of said, okay, do what you want. And I'm pretty sure that J.J. Abrams was thinking, okay, we find Luke at the end of The Force Awakens. In The Last Jedi, or whatever that second movie is going to be, there's going to be training sequences. There's going to be some sort of fight where Luke comes back. Luke will have to use his green one, and now Rey has a blue one that she can use.
Right.
So that's why I think go with that.
Okay.
So when we see that flashback to Luke and Leia training, Luke is using that.
How great
green
was that
one.
scene? Too?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh my god!
It brought a tear to my eye.
Oh my god! You cry for a lot of things.
Yes, a stiff wind will bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah, that was fantastic. What was your favorite scene, Missy?
Can you come back to me?
Okay, least favorite scene.
Pass.
I know which.
Pass.
Oh, I
That's
know which
hilarious.
one I didn't care for. Unless there's a reason for it that we find out later. But as far as like the actual movie is concerned, you gotta help me out here.
Okay.
Carrie Russell's character.
Uh-huh.
What's her name?
I can't remember.
Beautiful eyes.
Zori.
Zori.
Yeah.
Right. So why did they go to that planet again? I forget.
To
fix-
CP
to get-
C-3PO.
Okay, so
not
she's
fix them, just to kind of
to get the message
to get
out.
the Sith,
hack 'em.
to get the Sith coordinates,
which
out
is
of him.
pretty badass. I got to be honest.
That was amazing.
That was
and
awesome.
Babu Frick was fucking awesome.
I love he was awesome, but I love the fact that they made that where C-3PO is a language bot, and he was like, "Oh, I know this language." It goes against my programming to say Sith language like that. I
To
thought
translate it, yeah.
that was brilliant. I was
Yeah.
like, that it does make sense.
It's a MacGuffin, but it's so perfectly used.
But it's perfect. I thought it was so reasonably to think, oh yeah, like even the people who are making a language bot, they're like, no, we don't really want devil worshipping to be part of the fucking translation here, because like that's a thing. You can read it, but you're not gonna be able to tell anybody about it.
And this was, by the way, I think C-3PO's best movie. Like of all the movies, like he normally has like a fairly small role. They kind of expanded on that role, I think, for this.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic performance that Anthony Daniels gave.
I thought it was great when he was like, "Oh, my first gunfight," and it's like, "No, buddy, you've been through so many."
My favorite was, "Hello, I am C-3PO. You've been cyborg relations." "Hello, I am Babu Frick." So fucking awesome. He's been here talking to you, and he's like, "Oh, hi." He's such a great little creature.
I like Bob.
So, what didn't you like?
I don't get the whole the Zori Oscar Isaac thing. I forget his character's name. Poe. I don't get that whole interaction. Like, I don't know why that conversation was necessary.
Which conversation?
The one after they reboot C-3PO or get the message out of him, and then they're talking outside.
And he gives you a token.
And and I didn't care for that.
Okay, so
I was bored.
she is explaining to him,
Time for you to go to the bathroom. That's what that's for.
And I did.
in a sense, yeah.
I don't see that.
But she is explaining to him how on Kijimi he left when things got really bad to go fight for the Resistance. She stayed on Kijimi. And on Kijimi, they took all of the children as conscripts so they would become
train them,
stormtroopers.
right.
This kind of sets up for those people that don't remember that Finn was like that, right? This kind of sets up this idea that all those people on that planet in the Endor system, that they are also conscripts. That, the stormtroopers are not necessarily people who want to be there. They're people who
Right.
are forced to be there. So it's just to kind of expand on this idea that, First Order bad.
It's like a draft.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't really care for it. I don't see why.
It is slow.
I didn't see what the point of her character was.
Bathroom break time is what it is.
Probably.
Really? Man, I'm the only one. I was like, yeah, this is cool.
No, I liked it.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I thought it was great. It gave a great birth to Poe to implant the idea or to re-implant the idea in Poe's mind
Or to
that people are
make another movie.
people are like, don't let the big bad guy win by you not even showing up. People
Right.
believe, people have faith, they have hope.
Right.
And that was like in Poe, that was lost after Last Jedi. And he's like, we sent out a distraction and nobody came. And she reinstilled his hope, his faith. And I thought that was fantastic.
You're right. That is the most important thing about
That's-
that conversation.
That's the whole reason for that conversation. It's like, so much so, I want you to know that I want you to believe in faith again, believe in hope again. So much so that I'm giving you my only way out of this fucking planet with this coin. And I'm going to give this to you because you need this more than I do. After I just reprimanded you about you leaving us, I know that you left us for a bigger power, for a bigger reason. Like, that to me was a big thing.
And that's what makes the on your left moment at the end of the movie so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was great.
When Lando shows up with like
so
a
good.
million fucking ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they could have done that. They could have done that 5 different ways without her. I just don't think I get what you're saying. I understand the purpose that she served, but me personally, as a person watching it, I was like, I don't care, bro. Like, you could do it. There was 10 different ways.
I thought it was great. It gave us a backstory to Poe that he's a spice
like
runner.
that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was great. Spice.
I didn't
It's like,
care.
oh, spice. And I love the fact that that back and forth.
Yeah.
Where he was like, you were a spice runner. He's like, weren't you?
You were a stormtrooper.
No, he called him a sweeper, right? I think didn't he call him a sweeper?
Because he was a janitor.
He was a janitor. He's like, weren't you a janitor in a stormtrooper janitor or whatever? And then he was like, and then she was like, and then she comes in, Ray, and says, "You were a spice runner," and she's like, "You were a scavenger. Like we could,
We could do this all night.
We could do this all night. What are we doing here?"
It reminded me of the. So who talks first?
Yeah,
I talk first. You talk
Poe's
first.
so funny, dude. He's so good.
Still waiting for General Hugs.
Yeah,
So
such a great scene.
That's a great scene.
Ah,
Yeah.
God.
I got my favorite.
When you watch it with subtitles, it's even funnier. He's like, "This is General Hutz." He's like, "Yeah, I'm still waiting for General Hugs." What's your favorite scene, Missy?
The lightsaber fight between Rey and Kylo, and then
Which one?
the one that leads to
The one.
Carrie. Sorry, General.
General Carey?
General. No,
The one on the Death Star.
The one.
no, the one
it's
on
not
the
a Death Star. Was it Death Star?
Yeah, it's the Death Star.
The
It's
one
the
on the-
remains of the Death Star.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was just a
crashed.
regular starship. A regular star
No, it's the Death
ship.
Star. That was the
So
whole point of it.
so the lightsaber on the Death Star that leads to Leia going Ben, he cracks, and Rey gets him, but then Harrison Ford coming back,
Oh, that was a great moment.
Han Solo. So that's that whole 1, 2, 3, 4 lead up. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was really good.
I love that fight starts in the throne room where Luke and Vader had their fight in
yeah.
episode 6.
Where? What?
Yeah, dude.
What? Where is that throne room?
Dude,
On the
it's
Death Star.
on the Death Star.
The Death Star was there.
Said it.
No.
They're
Where? Okay.
Okay, so you know. Okay, let me explain. You know where she finds the Sith holocron?
When a boy and a girl
There's-
love each other very much.
And
They
one of them
hug
has an
really
ugly
tight.
face.
He doesn't have an ugly face.
You're right. It's very ugly.
It's a face only a
So
mother.
there's like a hidden door, right? And she goes in the back and she pulls out the Sith holocron, right? He takes it from her, and he crushes it.
Right.
That room that they're in with that seat in the middle with the big windows all around it, that is the throne room. That's the Emperor's throne room.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. I didn't. I can't wait
or not
to watch
Empire,
this again.
from Return.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this again.
Yes, man.
That's great.
There are so many throwbacks, and the thing is, like, they're so subtle, and
I missed it. And I was like, I was just involved in the dialogue. I'm like, go ahead, man, keep telling me this story. I didn't stop to think, man, this set design is amazing.
Well, that's why I was telling you, like, I think of it as an epic one because, like, it starts where the Return of the Jedi one leaves off, and it turns into its own sort of Jedi battle.
Right. I thought that Han coming back was kind of cheesy. I was just like, dude, come on, man, another fucking dead guy coming. We already got fucking Luke. Now, this is a good. All right, and I was just kind of about. And then here's what saved it for me is when he goes, Dad, and he goes, I know. That line saved it for me. I didn't get touched. It wasn't like, it's beautiful.
I did get touched.
But I was like, okay, all right, está bien. All right, tip my hat to you. Okay. Because I was not liking the whole he came back thing. I was like, oh my God.
I love that he came back.
He came back wearing the same shit that he was wearing before, but except he didn't have a hole in his chest.
He's supposed to have a wardrobe change after he dies?
No, just have a hole in your chest. Because that's the last thing I remember, Dad. If you're going to come back as a memory, if you're coming back as a memory that's haunting me, you should have the fucking hole in your chest.
He's not haunting him. He's there being like, yo.
No, that's the whole. That's the whole.
I know.
Yes.
God.
Yeah. So no. If you're gonna have that,
comedy is not allowed in this room.
Only good ones. I have yet to be allowed in this room. But no, I just thought it was cheesy, and I thought he should have had a hole in his chest. If you're gonna come back as a ghost or a haunted memory, have a hole in your chest. But the I know line did save it for me. Yeah, but I wasn't liking it at first at all. I was like, really, dude? You couldn't have this conversation in your head?
He was.
No, like just like without the visuals. You couldn't have Harrison Ford's voice.
But I think it would.
You could have just replayed the same conversation that he had in Force Awakens, and then he's like, and then he's like just have the voice of Harrison Ford saying like, "I'll help you. You know what you need to do. I'll help you."
I know, but it being the last movie. And you know they had to. I think it wasn't gratuitous at all. I think it fit well.
There's also this like
this movie works. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but this movie works. I think personally for me is because it had equal part conclusion to the 7-8 episodes as it did for the entire.
I agree.
Nice tied little bow.
Literally, they tied a nice little bow around it when she dug the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what I was going for. So that.
Are you drunk already? You seem a little.
I hate you a lot more, so maybe I am drunk. So yeah,
stupid, and I hate you.
So that's why I think that going back to what you were saying, which was wrong, is that the Harrison Ford thing works because of that. Because they're not just tying up episode 7 and 8. They're tying up the entire fucking like.
Oh, I literally said that I didn't like that it worked with the. I know it worked. It made that made it work.
I know.
I said it did work.
I think that but you're saying that you would have been fine with it being like a mental recall of the conversation, where I'm right and you're wrong, because I think that it works better if he shows up, because I need to see him one last time, just like I needed to see they could have killed off General Leia between 7 and 8 and 8 and 9, and they didn't. Why the fuck not? Because she's important to the story,
right? But Han's part of the story has already been told.
Or really,
and
because
shown.
But I don't think it was.
It wasn't.
It was for
Ben.
It was for Ben, and Ben got closure because he's been
again. I think it would have been It could have also been done by verbally hearing the voice in his head. I think it would have been. So. It's been done in a million other movies where you remember, like you just.
Yeah, but we got to see Harrison Ford. Let us see Harrison Ford. Damn it!
All right.
It could have been done.
I just needed Harrison Ford to one
in a million other
look
movies,
at him and be like, "Remember who you are."
In Star Wars,
wait, Dad.
The visual embodiment of someone is something that happens all the time.
See,
it's in the context of Star Wars, not in the context of Hollywood as a whole.
However, when that happens in Star Wars,
it's a force spirit. I get you.
It's always been force, and he's not one. He's not. Come on, he wasn't a force guy.
He's not.
He didn't even believe in that cookie religion. Remember that? I mean, come on. I mean, let's be real. Has there any in the Star Wars, any other Star Wars, has there ever been anybody that ever came back that was not one with the Force?
No.
Then what are we doing? I mean,
but he's not a Force ghost.
Right.
He's a memory.
Right. Without the hole in his chest.
Well, sometimes you're cleaning up the memory a little bit, so that you don't.
You want to make the memory nice.
The purpose of the memory is not to remind of him of the horrible fucking thing that he did. I think the purpose of the memory is to solidify what just happened to him because his mother died and her last words were Ben. But I'm sorry, Dave, like 5 minutes ago I interrupted you. Do you remember what you were saying?
I can't remember what I was
I'm
saying.
sorry. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Jeez.
What was your favorite?
There are a couple parts that I would say like fight for favorite for me, but if I had to choose only one, I would say it's when Luke raises the X-wing, and you hear the same musical melody as when Yoda does it in Empire Strikes Back after Luke can't. Mm-hmm. To me, it was such a beautiful moment for the character of Luke, because Luke never finishes his training with Yoda. He never finishes his training with Obi-Wan. He never finishes his training with Yoda. He never has a chance to do these things, so he has to do it on his own. And so I always questioned, me as a fan, whether Luke was really a Jedi Knight when he goes to see Jabba.
Like officially?
Right. And when he comes back to Yoda at the end of the movie, or not at the end of the movie, at the end of the whole, Jabba thing, and, he sees Yoda and he says, "Nothing more can I teach you." He goes, "So then I am a Jedi Knight." Like, he wasn't sure yet when he was saying these things. And still yet I questioned Yoda, like, is he saying this to kind of motivate him, to give him the confidence to face Vader, to face these things?
Not really Yoda style.
I don't know.
That wasn't really Yoda style.
But
it's sugarcoat shit.
But here's the thing, is that it's not really the style of the Jedi to be upfront about anything either. They're always going to do things to make you better, even if it's not necessarily giving you 100% of the truth, right? From a certain point of view, right? Like Obi-Wan says. So, maybe there is nothing more that Yoda can teach him because Yoda's about to fucking die. Mm-hmm. He never answers Luke when he says, "So then I am a Jedi Knight." So I've always kind of questioned that. Was Luke ready? How did he complete his training? And we see this like huge book that he's written on all of his studies. So to see that training kind of come to fruition and see how powerful he was, that he ended up becoming as powerful as Yoda was in Empire Strikes Back, to me, that was an incredibly emotional moment. To see him lift the X-Wing, to be there as a Force ghost for Rey, that was an absolutely incredible moment for me. Mm-hmm. And least favorite, the only thing I didn't like about the movie was the kiss.
Force Ghost, coast to coast.
I love Space Ghost.
Me too.
Never saw it.
Oh man, you're missing out.
It's great. The cartoons and then Coast to Coast was ridiculous.
Coast to Coast was
I
great
thought
too.
you said Space Coast, and I thought of the credit union.
No, not Space Coast.
I do
Space
that
Ghost.
too.
Vanessa, favorite part of the movie?
I know Dave hates it, but I really liked the kiss at the end. Like I know. Said,
she was next to me. She was
I was
literally
clapping,
cheering.
and then I heard somebody boo, and I was like, "Oh,
you know that when
No, they didn't boo. They go, "Oh, what the fuck?" They literally said somebody like 3 rows in front of us goes, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yes, bro, thank you."
And I was agreeing, and I was like, "Oh, this was not for me."
In my theater,
this was not for me.
No, this is actually for you. That kiss
yeah, the
was
kiss was for me, but clearly,
I
am having the wrong reaction to this moment.
in my theater, kiss, and without missing a beat, somebody goes, "What? Ew!" Like at the top of their fucking lungs, and then that's it. That was it for the moment, because the whole theater started laughing, because I don't even know if it was a woman or a man, but yeah, a lot of people were not happy with that kiss.
Well, that was like when we went to go see X-Men First Class.
X-Men First Class.
When they show how Xavier ends up getting paralyzed,
Where he gets shot in the back.
Yeah.
and this guy behind us was like, "Oh, that's why."
That's how he. It was an
clicked.
honest.
Yeah.
It was an honest reaction.
It was
He's like,
such an
"Oh."
honest reaction, and we were dying.
That was the day we got married.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, we had just gotten back from getting married.
I know,
and
I
having
heard
a
that story.
cheeseburger.
It's cute. She's
What was
cute.
your favorite part?
The kiss. I love the
Oh, the kiss. I'm sorry. And then your least favorite.
When you got yelled at because you liked the kiss.
No, my least favorite. I think I'm gonna agree with Missy. I feel like the Carrie Russell scenes kind of dragged on a little bit too long. I do agree that it wasn't important. Like now thinking back, again, I need to see the movie again because it missed a lot. But I think it was just a little bit too dragged out, in my opinion. It could have. I feel like they could have just.
It could have been shorter.
Been a little more concise.
Or maybe it was on purpose. Like how in Infinity War, the whole diner scene with the kids coming up to them. It's like now
gives background information, but it's just kind of like.
Yeah, but I think like for logistics reasons, I think it's like, well, this is a dull moment. Go pee. And then, I did.
Was it a long movie? How long was it?
2.5.
2.5.
It's not a long movie. It's
not
fine.
long.
It's not.
It's not Infinity War long.
Well, the cut that he submitted to Disney was 3 hours.
Well, I'm sure we'll get it. There's been enough clout that they're gonna release it. If not, right when the digital Blu-ray comes out, 5-10 years from now.
I don't think they're gonna release it for. If they do release it, I don't think it's gonna be for another 10 or 15 years just to milk more money out of it, because
that sounds like a Disney thing to do.
Because that's a powerhouse move. Because here's the thing, they don't need to release it right now. They're like, this movie's making $1 billion.
So I have a question.
They don't need to give us anything extra.
I have a question. George Lucas has done a director's cut re-release for a lot of the movies.
Most
right?
people hate them. Yeah.
How many times was he able?
6.
How many times was he able to do that?
Like twice, 2 or 3 times. He changed. The first time
he changed them infinitely. In fact, the version of A New Hope that was put up on
Disney Plus
is the last version that he made.
The latest version.
Well, he no longer can make any edits to it. That's the last version that he will ever
But it's
make.
got to be like 3 edits is what she's asking. How many versions is what she's asking?
Versions? Well, there's the
there's the original version.
There's the 1990s versions. There's the early 2000s versions. And I think there was at least one more after that.
Yeah, so 3 or 4. We're looking at
But it was like a 10-year.
way more.
But I'm saying like to guess.
But here's the thing. But
there was a 10-year
But
gap.
the reason why George changed it, aside from the shooting, aside from Guido shooting second.
It's Guido, not Guido. Right?
Listen, when I'm being, it's a lot more fun to say Guido, dude. But
Why are you smacking his
to his defense, not that he deserves much, but to his defense, the reason he claims to take that long to come up with a new version is because he's waiting for the technology to catch up to his vision. That's
kind of a douchey reason.
It's douchey, but it's also understandable because you got to remember the first movie was done in the 70s with almost no budget, so he was like, I can't add as many speeder bikes and I can't add that as much as I want to. So now that I have the technology that allows me to, and I don't have to hire more actors or more, like I could do it on the computer. Like I think that's understandable, to be honest with you.
Yet somehow
at the end of this movie.
Did we what?
Did we see like dead Hayden Christensen at the end of this movie?
At the end of Return of the Jedi,
At the end of this one.
We don't see any dead Jedi, but we do hear his voice.
We do.
That's what it was.
We do see Luke
and Leia.
That's true.
Dead Jedi.
That's true. Yeah.
I was just thinking
Past
of how
ones.
they did it.
Yeah.
And then they added Hayden Christensen, which I thought was
that's
really
one of the
annoying.
changes to the later versions of
That's the 2000
the
version.
original. Yeah, the 2000s ones is he added Hayden Christensen instead of
Fulano Natal.
yeah.
Nobody knows his name.
He only
Who cares?
played him in the one scene.
Yeah,
so.
nobody knows his name.
I know that David Prowse is the guy who was the man in the suit.
Yeah.
So if we do get a JJ cut, it'll be 10 years from now.
Probably.
It will be when Disney decides, hey, we can make another $1 billion off
Yeah.
of this movie on home release. That's fine. So
Never before seen.
my favorite scene, I think, would be a combination of a couple. There's
His favorite scene, not scene.
yeah, I know, but there's gonna be a couple because
gotta pick one.
We each picked one.
Yeah.
I know, but she picked 4. She picked a sequence. She picked the whole sequence. That wasn't a scene. That was a whole sequence.
That was one scene. It was a fight, and then Leia died.
And then
That's all one scene.
And then Han. That's a
all-
sequence.
No, it's not. It's all.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's got to be either the fight or the. Yeah, she picked 2. Whatever. Go ahead. Pick 2.
I was totally fucking around. I really don't care this much. I'll pick one sequence. Can I do that? Continuous? Can I do that?
You can do whatever you want. It's your world. We just live in it.
This is Missy when she's drunk and sleepy. So
I've been here for 14 hours.
Her eyes are.
You
like how
also
they were
clocked
20 minutes
in.
ago.
You were like, lady. You were. This is a thing. You got paid to be here.
Not by you.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I paid you, motherfucker. I didn't say I paid you.
You got paid.
You got paid.
I get paid to be here too.
Got money.
That's not what I said, and I'm not even going to tell you. But anyway, that's a separate story.
Oh my god!
What was your favorite scene or sequence or whatever the fuck you want?
So
Why isn't your uncle answering the phone?
on the planet where Chewie gets taken. I don't know the planet names. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another scene that I liked. Go ahead.
Oh, you can't.
I'll wait.
You can't.
It's a like, not a favorite.
Okay, fine.
It's an honorable mention.
I like when she sees Kylo's ship and she turns around and does that badass running away from it, but only to do the backwards flip
That was really cool.
and cut the wing off. And I was just fucking jizzing like, ah! And
Okay.
then
I was wondering.
That unnecessarily aggressive.
And then here's the scene that I not out of my seat physically, but like was when she shot fucking lightning.
That was
I was like,
that was the oh shit moment.
Holy shit. That's fucking crazy. And then Vanessa was like, can Jedi do that? I was like, I don't think Jedi, I've never seen a Jedi do that. I've never seen, I was like,
Storm can.
I was like, the only person I know that does that is definitely not a fucking Jedi. So I was like, this is very confusing. This is before we found out the reveal. And I was like,
Well, Dooku does it too.
but he's not a Jedi.
He was. Yeah, but it was Palpatine. It was Palpatine who
But
taught him.
all Sith were one-time Jedi, right? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
You don't start
They all
off.
use
You
the Force.
don't go into the Sith order. You become a Jedi, and then that you know, right?
Well,
am I mistaken?
Palpatine was never a Jedi. Because
I think it's just another way of using the Force, right?
No, right, but I think you get seduced by the dark side, so you become a Jedi.
Well,
and then you
they
get
mentioned
seduced.
that in
think-
one of the prequels where
Was it garbage 1 or 2?
it's one of them.
I
Hot
think-
garbage 1 or dumpster fire number 2?
Yeah,
Where it's typically one of the Jedi that fall to
yeah.
you know.
There's always a balance. There's always a good guy. There's always a bad guy. There's always when one rises, one falls. It's just a thing. But when she shot lightning, I lost my ever loving fucking mind. I was like, holy fuck. Great scene. Love, that's my favorite scene.
What part did you not like as much? Don't be obvious. Be creative.
I'm gonna be
honest.
I'm well, the scene that I didn't like that I liked the least. Look, the scene I didn't like was a kiss. But another scene, to talk about another scene, because I don't want to harp on the whole shit again, is I wasn't the biggest fan of the fucking magicians, like Rey putting the lightsaber behind her, and
I thought
then
that was so cool.
I know you did, and then Rey putting the lightsaber behind her back in front of the Emperor. And then Kylo taking that lightsaber like, now you see it, now you know, like, look, and there's a quarter behind your ear. Like, I just felt like it was that kind of fucking magic trick, and I was like, really, you're gonna put a rabbit
And
out of the
now
fucking hat too? Like, and now for my finale, my thumb comes off and on. Like, I just like, all right, it just looked cheesy. I thought it looked cheesy.
Need a handkerchief? Here, take it.
Yeah,
Keep pulling. It's a long one.
I just felt it just looked cheesy. I was like,
That voice
ugh.
is terrifying. Like stuff of nightmares.
It's so funny. Do you remember the scene, Missy? You looking?
I
you
do.
looking at me blankly.
I don't. Why did you hate that? That was
I just
awesome.
thought
That was really
looked
cool.
cheesy. I thought it looked like a magic. It looked like
I
a
didn't
cheap
get that.
magic trick that a
And I love-
magician who is not actually a Sith uses.
That's
Or a Jedi.
another favorite part of the movie was the shrug when after he gets Rey's lightsaber. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna fuck shit up now." You guys don't remember?
Nope.
No, I do. I know what you're talking about.
You don't. It happened immediately after what you just talked
After
about.
the magic trick.
after
Yeah,
the
like-
transfer of saber using the Jedi
Transfer
Force.
of
You
saber.
fuck.
I will say this
Yeah,
because
fuck.
our group of friends has
You're
talked
so
about it
angry.
a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you angry at me? I don't understand.
You know what you did.
Our group of friends has talked about it a lot. I will say this: it's a nice little nod to like Han Solo's shrug in Return of the Jedi. He does this,
All right.
you know, and so it's a nice little gesture. But I mean, that's all it is to me. It's meaningless
A wink.
otherwise. Yeah, that's all it is.
Is it groundbreaking?
Yeah,
Fourth wall.
absolutely.
Groundbreaking fourth wall.
Another scene that I liked was when we get to the planet where the Death Star is. I don't know the name of it. And we find the little tribe of escaped
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
That's another part of the JJ cut. Supposed, apparently, JJ cut is that we get told in the JJ cut that girl is Lando's daughter.
That's what I was waiting for.
That's a big fucking deal.
That's what I was waiting for.
Also,
when they
Lando's
see each
back.
other. Yeah, that was cool.
He is, and of course, this is having read books and comic books and all that. He is my favorite character in all of Star Wars. People were always surprised by this,
It
but
took me a while to forgive him, man. It took me a while to forgive him. It wasn't until like the rewatch, like the most recent rewatch.
it took me a long time too.
It took me in the most recent rewatch. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't think that he meant to do it.
When you come to realize that like he has a gun to his head,
Yeah, literally.
and literally, yeah, and he's just doing the best that he can for everyone,
Yeah.
especially the people, like the thousands of people that he has to take care of here on on
Cloud City.
Bespin. Like he's an incredibly admirable character, and then like
I'm with you.
and then he joins the rebellion.
I'm with
you know,
Well, he's just trying to get that Leia puss.
well, aren't we all?
Yeah. Fucking Han went into that fucking carbonation, and then he was like, oh, here's my time, here's my moment, boy. So that's what I thought. I thought Finn was going to be Lando's son, but I'm glad he's not.
Right.
But also,
Like,
I
he
wish...
clicked with Lando's daughter. So
Yeah, I wish they would have. I wish it would have. That's the other thing. Can we talk about that for a minute? I know we talked about it in the chat before the podcast. The whole movie, Finn was like, "Oh, I have something I want to tell you,"
oh yeah,
and everybody in the chat seemed to be, except for me and Vanessa, and I. Everybody seemed to be on board that it was a Force topic.
Yeah.
If that he's Force sensitive and that's what he wanted to talk, and I didn't think it was as obvious. I'm not saying it's not that. I'm saying I thought it was that he was in love with her.
me too. And honestly, like we had the conversation, like, oh, it's obvious that it was a Force thing. After
I don't think
the
it was
fact,
obvious.
Thinking back, and then like when he finally does use the Force, he's like, I feel it or whatever. Okay, it makes a little more sense. But when you're like about to die, the one thing I want to tell you is not, hey, I think I can feel the Force too. Like when you're facing death,
You're not alone. Like there's someone else here for you. There always has been. I've always understood you, even though.
yeah, but you're not gonna say I feel the Force. Like you're gonna say I love you when you're dying. Like I want you to know that I love you because we're about to die and I may not get another chance to do that. That also says I'm with you and I feel you and like we're here.
Well, yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
not.
I'm not.
Oh, we're about to drown in this quicksand, but guess what? I can feel the Force too. Like that's not.
I'm not sure that you can use real world logic when it comes to quicksand, even though
Quicksand
You
is
know,
real, though, right? You are
it
aware
is.
of it?
quicksand is real,
Okay, I
but
just
it's
wanna make sure.
It's
Look,
not.
I know,
It's
like-
not. It's not a real threat that people face
But
every day.
Yeah, but
either.
thought I
if
was
you live in the
gonna
desert,
face it
that's
a
a
lot
thing.
more than I have.
Yeah, like,
like
that's
growing up, I was like, gotta be careful. With
Yeah.
the
right with the quicksand.
Quicksand
yeah.
and lasers, right?
And
it's a thing.
lasers.
That's how I thought my world was going to be full of quicksand and lasers. Like, hey, you got to watch out for these lasers and quicksand. And that was
and skunks.
yeah. Oh my God, yes.
Everywhere.
So many skunks. Like I don't understand the world that
My world
that
was
Looney
full of
Tunes,
quicksand
the one that
and
Looney
skunks.
Tunes and Nintendo built for me in my head. I was like, I gotta watch out for all these laser carrying skunks. That's just.
What about grenades, or was that just me?
Freaking lasers.
Not as much
grenades,
as-
not so much because.
But grenades is actually still a thing in the real world, though. Like you hear more about grenades in the real world than you do about
skunks.
skunks. And like, you really, when was the last time you heard about a skunk? Like in real
I think
world?
that's because of where we live, though. Like in more rural.
Yeah.
Rural.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun
Rural
tonight, ladies and
areas?
gentlemen. She's second glass of
I
wine.
had a glass of wine.
Well,
So
drink
you're
another. Drink another one then.
I just can't say rural.
Bro.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so I didn't. Here's the thing. My argument with that is not an argument. Is my only tiff with that is that I don't think it's obvious. Like the statement was, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's so obvious." I'm
think
like,
it was
really?
obvious.
I don't think it was obvious. And then Jeff was like, "Oh, you want everything? You like everything spoon fed to you?" I'm like, first of all, who doesn't? I mean, somebody spoon feed me my dinner, it'd be amazing. Yeah, okay, I'll eat this. But I don't think I don't think those two are. I don't think those were the only options. It's not either obvious or spoon fed. I don't think there's somewhere in between.
But like even when he started using the Force, or like at least trying to feel
Right.
things, I still didn't put it together with he wants to tell Rey something. After you guys explained it to me, I
Yeah.
was like, okay,
I can see
I
it.
can see what you're saying.
I can see it, but I don't think it's a dead, like, that has to be. And here's the thing. When he
I
started,
kind of like that. It's not really like that. It's kind of ambiguous.
I wanted some closure.
Like,
I don't need everything to have closure. Not everything needs to be tied up in a neat little bow. Like, I don't need to know how the Emperor survived.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about that. I think the explanation.
There's
That
always-
was really creepy.
There's
explanation
always
they
been
gave was
mystery. There's always been mystery surrounding him. I think that he's creepier with the mystery.
The explanation
So,
they gave, the little
it was
explanation they
enough.
gave, was more than enough. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
It
it
could-
reminded me
It
of Dark.
could be dark, dark
Magic.
force magic, or it could be cloning, or it could be a combination.
I don't
or
think it
who
was.
knows?
I didn't even think it was cloning. I literally just chalked it up to like, oh, this is like Brujeria shit. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool, I'm in, I'm down. That's it. That's all I need. He did look like
Zombie Palpatine was
That was
he
terrifying.
looked
fucking awesome.
bro. He looked like Death from fucking Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Flat out. That's what he fucking
But
looked
like
like.
the way he was like hanging off that like
Thing, the
arm
machine.
thing, that machine, that was scary.
And the way it ended with Rey and the lightsabers and Rey and Kylo, the reason why they didn't strike him down, he struck himself down, right? That's what we're saying. That's what the whole thing was. Because if she would have struck him down with a lightsaber, then she would have taken over as the new
Right.
Sith. So
She was just reflecting back his own.
right. So that's the way. That's the loophole. Like you could kill him, but you can't kill him. He has to kill himself. You just have to be the mirror.
He could have stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
is a
he,
man.
he really destroyed himself.
And men.
That's how his face ended up looking like a ball sack in the first place.
It's true. It's so true. Anyway, so overall thoughts of the movie. Ending. Do you want to watch it again? You're gonna.
Oh yeah,
watch it again.
yeah. I've seen it twice. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to see it in theaters again.
Where does this rank for you in your ranking of
Well, that's easy because I already ranked them. But let me pull it up. Maybe you want to talk
Missy?
to somebody
What
else.
is you? What do you? What
I don't rank these movies
Oh, okay.
unless there's a website that does it for me, but I won't do it.
I'm sure there's that Twitter website, right? I'm sure we'll do it.
The one that did the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't sent it to me, so this is your fault.
Yeah, you're right. I take responsibility for that. It's my fault.
So this is number 5,
Oh wow.
behind Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, Rogue One, and Empire Strike Back at number 1.
Oh okay. Babe, where would you? Do you?
And right
rank?
beneath
I
it,
haven't
right beneath
ranked
it is
them.
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So just to give you an idea of.
I haven't ranked them,
Where it
but
falls.
like I said in the beginning, all I ask of these movies is that they entertain me, and this movie entertained me. And
That's what I like about this panel. It's the whole spectrum is accounted for. We have somebody who's a casual fan who just wants to be entertained, to the uber nerd that reads books, and everything in between.
And I
Which is me and
will
Missy.
say that from
And we are a lot of everything.
Yeah, we are a lot.
So much.
from 1 to 8. So from Empire Strikes Back to Solo, which is my number 8. I genuinely love these movies.
All right. Okay. You love Phantom?
Phantom is my number 10.
No.
No, you just said Last Jedi
is
was
number
number
10.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
1,000.
Oh, that's 11. There are 11 movies
Well,
with
yeah.
Solo.
Oh, you're counting that?
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a Star Wars movie.
All right. Yeah, man, it's my number 1. My number 1 with a speeder bike.
Ah, nice.
Huh? Let's try to do this with a blaster ray. All right. Anyways, so I hope to make more movies. That I hope to make more. I don't want to know. I know they're not gonna make continuations. They're not gonna make episode 10 or whatever
TV
the fuck
shows.
it is. But I really want to continue watching Ray. Ray and Finn and Poe. I want to fucking keep following them, whatever the fuck that means.
I bet you they do
whatever
more.
Roman numeral you put behind it or in front of it. I don't give a fuck. I just want to know more about them.
I think they'll do more just because they're gonna make money. So just simply based on that.
The hypothesis is that they're not gonna do that. This saga is over. That now whatever comes afterwards. So they may be in movies, but I don't know. That's what the consensus has been. I hope not, man. I hope
can tell you that if this was back in the 80s, the 90s, or the early 2000s, that their stories would have continued in books and comics. Because there's so much about
but
Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie.
I want the stories
afterwards.
to continue and things that I would see.
Well, but we're living
because I'm not gonna.
And that's where I'm going with this. We're living in a Disney Plus world where we can get a limited series on Obi-Wan, like is coming out at some point next year.
Oh man, he totally
with
had a mistress.
Ewan McGregor.
He totally had a mistress.
All right,
he totally hit something.
Yeah,
he hit that.
You cheating bastard!
Why
You
else?
cheating bastard!
Are you cheating on the Force? What are you cheating on?
So I wouldn't be surprised if instead of writing books or coming out with a movie where there's like lots of
like the Mandalorian will be in
right. I would see like an 8 or a 10-part series maybe coming out. Something
I just want to keep following Ray and
I do too.
I just thought it was great.
They're ripe for stories.
Good.
Show us how they're gonna rebuild.
Show us how Lando's and his daughter get like that's fucking great. I want to see this, yeah. I want all of it, man. I want all of it. This made me thirsty for more.
Absolutely.
I want all of it. So, anyways, that's our spoiler review special. Thank you for checking us out. We have we veered off the path a bit throughout this episode, as we usually do on this podcast.
We did that bad. We stayed on topic.
We okay.
We talked about movies.
Yeah. That what was it? Oh man, I forgot the quote already.
Great, so move on.
All right.
It's from Network, the quote you guys were talking about.
Thank you very much. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
There you go.
So, thank you guys for checking us out. Hopefully, you saw the title of this podcast and you realize that it's a spoiler special, so you should have seen the movie. But it's $1 billion already. Really, you fucking
If you haven't seen it yet, you're the problem.
It's on you.
Yeah. So, thank you for checking us out. Make sure you check out Missy's writing at missywriter.com.
MissyWrites.com.
MissyWrites.com. Sorry. Her Twitter is Missy Writer.
Missy the Writer on Twitter.
The?
Yeah.
There's a THE?
Yep.
Articles are important.
And Missy Writer on Instagram. I swear, guys, I'm trying to, but they keep taking my shit. Also, if you have TikTok, I haven't made a video, but I'm on there, and it's Missy the Writer as well.
All right.
This is confusing.
Also, if you have TikTok, you're 12. What are you doing listening to us right now?
So fun.
I know. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Dave, anything you want to plug? Music is kind of your thing now, but it was a thing, but now.
No, music is on hiatus for the time being.
You're getting your master's.
I am.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Hence why it's on hiatus.
Yeah, pretty impressive, man.
Thank you.
At your age, to be still going to school, I mean,
right?
God bless you. God bless you. I just want to see you in those gym shorts again, man.
Well, there's the nightmare fuel I was waiting for.
You've seen his actual penis. Like, I really, the gym shorts is what's going to do it?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. Appreciate that.
And my wife, and make sure you check out my wife, and make sure you check out happy birthday, wife. And check out the podcast on the Geek Bro Network, the other podcast.
Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, we're gonna sell Girl Scout cookies. So get your girl. What was the website, babe? Geek Bro Cookie Mom
at gmail.com. Email me. And
Geek Bro Cookie Mom at gmail.com. If you're in South Florida, she'll deliver. If you're not in South Florida, if you're anywhere, you can get them online. We'll give you the link to support our daughter specifically because she's the only Girl Scout that matters. So we love you, and send us an email, and she will email you a link to the ordering site. And if you don't like these cookies, maybe some of you are
Can't you buy some for the military?
you can buy some and they're gonna need it from what's going on. So make sure you go
Stress
to
eating.
geekbrocookiemom@gmail.com. As for me, you can check out my comedy at Nary Signs or whatwashisname.com. You guys have been wonderful, man. Thank you for checking us out. That's how lightsabers are lit.